How to connect a Blu-ray player with Control Center. You'll complete the following steps: hardware hookup, device identification, test control, complete IR learning. Please note, not all Blu-ray players require this step. IR troubleshooting tips. To set up Control Center with your Blu-ray player, you'll need your Control Center and remote, your Blu-ray player and remote, and an HDMI cable. Hardware hookup. Before you begin setting up your Blu-ray player, you should have already connected Control Center to your TV and soundbar or sound system. If you haven't done this yet, visit cabo.com/go for instructions. Now, plug an HDMI cable into any of the 4 numbered HDMI ports labeled inputs on the back of your Control Center. Connect the other end of the HDMI cable to the HDMI port on the back of your Blu-ray player. Both Control Center and your Blu-ray player must be powered on to complete setup. Device identification. Control Center will attempt to automatically identify the devices you've plugged in, including your Blu-ray player. First, you will see a screen telling you how many devices have been detected. Select Next. Allow your Control Center to automatically identify your devices. You will see a screen showing the names of all the devices you've plugged in, including Blu-ray player. Select Next to set up your Blu-ray player to work with Control Center. Test control. Now you will use the Control Center remote to test control of your Blu-ray player. You may need to insert a disc to test control of your player. If you see a black screen, you may need to wake up your device with its original remote. Using the on-screen graphic as a guide, press any of the highlighted buttons on the Control Center remote to test whether it can control your Blu-ray player. If Control Center is able to control the Blu-ray player, press the Page Up key. Your Blu-ray player has been added successfully. Select Next. If Control Center was unable to control your Blu-ray player, press the Page Down key. Using the on-screen graphic as a guide, connect the included IR blaster to Control Center. Place one of the IR blaster heads in front of your Blu-ray player and press Done. Using the on-screen graphic as a guide, press any of the highlighted buttons on your Control Center remote to test whether it can control your Blu-ray player. If Control Center is unable to control your Blu-ray player, press the Page Down key and follow the on-screen steps. Please note, if your Control Center is in a closed cabinet, make sure you open the cabinet door now. Complete IR learning. The included IR blaster should be connected to Control Center, with one of the IR blaster heads placed in front of your Blu-ray player. Point your Blu-ray remote at Control Center for the next several steps. If you use an IR remote to control your Blu-ray player, press Yes. Next, enter the model number for your Blu-ray player. If you can't find it, press the Fast Forward key on your Control Center remote to skip this step. Press Done, then press Next. Locate the top menu key on your Blu-ray player remote, and before pressing it, use the Control Center remote to select Next. Now, tap the top menu key on the Blu-ray player remote while continuing to point it at Control Center. Follow the on-screen instructions to complete the rest of the keys on your Blu-ray player remote. Now that Control Center has learned all of the Blu-ray player remote keys, you will use the Control Center remote to test control of your Blu-ray player. Using the on-screen graphic as a guide, press any of the highlighted buttons to test the control of your Blu-ray player. If Control Center is able to control the Blu-ray player, press the Page Up key. Your Blu-ray player has been added successfully. IR troubleshooting tips. If you are still unable to control your Blu-ray player after you've completed IR learning, please confirm that you are pointing the Blu-ray player remote at Control Center. Make sure your cabinet doors are open and double check that your Blu-ray player remote is an IR remote. If you have questions or need additional assistance, visit cavo.com/support and search Blu-ray.